I finally took the time to go through the 9 streams that it took to find this precious double-chinned white cat, and I gathered all the data on who I saw, how many times I saw them, and who I missed. Listening to my voice on 2x speed is an interesting experience, but I did it for science. Science is important. Villager hunting is a fun mechanic in New Horizons. Island hopping allows the player to attempt to find a villager they want or their dreamie. You don't want an entire island full of ugly, mean characters, do you? No, I didn't think so. Finding your preferred villager is difficult. The villager that appears on the island is basically randomly generated. The game first calculates a 1 in 35 chance for each species, since there are 35 total species of villagers in the game. Next, the game decides which specific villager in that species is picked. So for cats, there's an additional 1 in 23 chance. Multiplying those together equals a 1 in 805 chance of finding little old Mary, or any other cat for that matter. Cats are the most populous species in New Horizons, so if you do the math, that means any cat in the game is the rarest spawn while island hopping. Which means that, yes, Mr. Raymond here is one of the hardest villagers to find. But, there are so many better cats out there. Pick a different one, I don't know. I know you're interested in finding out if your Dreamie is actually rare. I get questions all the time. The easy way to find out is by looking at how many villagers are in that specific species. The less populous that species is, the less rare that villager is. An octopus is your Dreamie? Good! You'll be able to find them pretty quickly. A cat or rabbit is your Dreamie? Ha! Good luck spending hundreds of tickets trying to find them. I have an entire spreadsheet listing out every villager I saw and how many times I saw them in the 9 Mary hunting streams. If you want all the details, they're all there. Listing them would make this a 15-minute video and too many numbers for anyone's brain to handle. But some of these numbers are really interesting. I spent 1,027 Nook Miles tickets looking for Mary. That means I walked on 1,027 islands and saw 1,027 villagers. One would assume that I would have seen all 391 different villagers that are available in the game, right? Nope. I did see most of them, a whopping 343, which means I only, that's a tough word, missed 39 villagers. For those of you doing the math in your heads, you have to account for the 9 villagers still on my island since they are impossible to find while island hopping. I dive a bit deeper into the math in a previous video. There's also a video on how campsite villagers work too, so if you want more information on that front, those videos are in the iCard. The way the game calculates which villager you will find on an island works out so that the species with the least number of villagers will have the most appearances. Quick example, again, there are 3 octopi, octopedes, octopuses, whatever plural you like, in the game, so there is a 1 in 105 chance of you finding one on an island compared to the 1 in 805 chance of finding a specific cat. At the time of hunting Mary, I had Zucker on my island, an octopus. This means it was only possible to find 2 on an island rather than 3. That 1 in 105 chance turned into a 1 in 70 chance of finding an octopus. And sure enough, Marina and Octavian were the villagers I found most often, with 20 and 17 appearances respectively. Which doesn't seem like a lot when you found 1,027 villagers, but oh boy, it is a lot, especially when I consider the fact that out of the 391 villagers available, well, 382 without my current neighbors, I saw 91 of them only one time. So yes, finding one character 20 times is actually quite frequent and pretty freaking annoying. Third place for the most frequently walking around a deserted mystery island goes to the Nightmare Bull himself, Rodeo, with a whopping 11 appearances. If you want to see which other villagers I became sick of seeing during the streams, that's all in the Google Sheet in the description. What I'm most interested in are the missing villagers. In the 1,000 islands I hopped to, why did I miss 39 villagers? Does that mean those villagers are extremely rare? No. It just happened. RNG was not in my favor when trying to find these specific 39 villagers. One of the ducks I missed during the hunt, Freckles, I found multiple times during my recent hunt for Eric. The 4 cats I missed make some sense, since they're cats and they're the rare species, as do the squirrels and the ducks. They're both pretty common in the game. The ones that are strange to me are the species I didn't complete that have a small number of villagers tied to them, like kangaroos. There are only 8 kangaroos in the game, yet I was unable to find Matilda. And then it hit me. Move-in queue. I've explained this in my past videos, but as a refresher, the move-in queue is a hidden lineup for the next villagers to move into your island if you leave that open plot open. If you do not ask a villager to move in either through your campsite, at a mystery island, or through your friend's in-boxes villager, one that's moving out and has their furniture literally in boxes, then the game will place one of your moving queue villagers there. How do villagers get in your queue? The most likely answer is these villagers come from your friend's islands. If they've had one of their neighbors move out and that neighbor is in their void. When an animal moves out of your island, many times they're stuck in your void, waiting for other players to come to your island and scoop them up. This is how you get neighbors that say they're from a different player's island when they move into yours. It's because you visited their island and picked up their villager from their void, who then stayed in your moving queue until the day that you forgot to island hop or just gave up and wanted the game to choose a random villager for you. I have another switch that I use for experiments and time traveling for videos, so I don't mess with my main island. I never really bothered picking specific villagers, just kind of let the game do its thing since I didn't want any attachment to the island. It's purely there for science. Yay, science! I pretty much let villagers move out when I see the thought bubble over their head and feel like talking to them. One day I let a villager move out and never thought about it again. Who was that villager? Yep, Matilda. It's safe to say that Matilda is now officially in my moving queue. I remember asking her to leave on my other island, I visited my science island from my main account, and I never found her on my hunt. Who are the other 3 villagers in my moving queue? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I do island visiting streams every week, so unless I ask every single person who had moved off their island and compare it to my missing villagers list, it's pretty impossible to figure out. Actually, now that I look at the list, I'm pretty sure I let Mira and Pom Pom move off my science island, so those could be chilling in my queue as well. But yeah, I don't know until it happens. With that being said, villagers that you let move off your island are not impossible to find. I let Blanche move out to look for Mary. Lo and behold, I found Blanche on an island. They never remember you though, it's really sad. It seems like villagers in your void you can find again, if Blanche even went to my void, just not those you've picked up off others' islands and are in your moving queue. So I guess you could say the rarest villagers are the ones in your moving queue, since you can never find them on Mystery Island tours. Yay! Again, if you want to know the chances of finding your Dreamie on an island, all those numbers are in the Google Sheet in the description. Who are you planning on hunting next? Oh, that sounds rough. Hunting like villager hunting, not hunting like moose hunting. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!